So today's gonna be just a vlog, a moto vlog. So I don't usually make moto vlogs. My videos are always like very, I don't know, like purpose, to have a purpose, you know, scripted. I spend a lot of time scripting stuff. And the reason that I'm going out for a ride is because I decided I put my Triumph up for sale. It's been a few months, but someone wants to come and have a look at it on Saturday. He seems pretty keen on it, and so I wanted to just ride it. I also just did the I replaced the brake fluid on the front and the rear. So I just want to make sure that everything's okay with the bike. I haven't ridden it for a few weeks. I don't want to sell it and then you know, there's something that's not right with it. As far as I know, everything is fine. That's how I want to sell it. And the reason why I want to sell it is, I mean, I'm gonna miss it. I know I'm gonna miss this bike. It's really nice, it's really smooth, it is comfortable, despite that, you know, I've said in other videos that sport bikes are just as comfortable, but you can, yeah, I mean, this one is, it's not as harsh. So I'm gonna miss it, but I don't want to have too many stuff. Like I've got 2 street bikes. I had 2 dirt bikes. I gave one away, and I feel like if I just have one bike, I can give it more attention and I can like appreciate it more. So that's why I'm selling this one, and of course, you know, it's good to have the money. Anyway, welcome to my channel where we talk about bikes and Bible verses. We're going to have a Bible verse at the end. I hope you can stick around for that. But I do have a topic today, and that is, what do you do when, you know, you're trying to move forward, but you keep just sliding backwards? What do you do? Like, what do you do when just everything and everyone around you is just going nuts? Things are falling apart, things are not going your way, you're sliding into a hole, you know. Like, you know, you're not in the hole yet, but you're sliding into it. What do you do? And this is like a lesson that I've learned. I mean, I've known, but sometimes you forget. And so there's like 4 or 5 points that I want to give on what do you do. You know, like what do you do when someone disappoints you? You know, your family, or some friend, someone betrays you, someone just does something and you're disappointed. So the first thing that you do if you're living like that is you need to like appreciate the good things that you do have. Now, a lot of people, when they say, oh, just appreciate what you got, you know, but a lot of people are doing a lot worse. I'm not saying that, right? People who say that, like they dismiss what you're going through, like, oh, a lot of people having a worse time than you, so just stop complaining. I'm not saying that, you know. I'm not dismissing whatever you're going through is not good, but what I'm saying is also at the same time appreciate the good things that you have, because there's someone else who perhaps doesn't. I'm sure there's good stuff in your life, and it's just show like gratitude for it. That's the first step. Like, that is, I think there's just something really powerful about having gratitude and just thinking about the things that you do have, the blessings that you do have. The second thing that you do, you have hope and you have faith. Now, I say in my channel all the time, like, this is not just for Christian people or religious people. Even non-religious people know that there's something about just being positive and hopeful. And actually, it pleases God. According to the Bible, having faith pleases God. You don't know what's going to be tomorrow. And there's a lot of stuff that's happened to me where I thought I was going down one path, but somehow the path changed. Something I didn't expect, and maybe you can't see it right now. Maybe you just think, yeah, this is going into a hole. But it really takes something to think, you know what, something might change. Like there is a miracle can happen. Something can happen. And having that hope and having that faith and that positivity, and not just always having like this negativity and doom thinking, is actually powerful. And like I said, it pleases God. The third thing that you do, actually, this is what you don't do. You don't become complaining and bitter and grumpy and like, this is a lesson that I've learned recently, that I don't know, just when you become old, you're getting older and grumpier, and you start being like an a-hole, like, and you start being an a-hole to your family, and you start questioning, like, finance wise, right? I always have faith in God. But there comes a point where you start being that grumpy, bitter person and asking your wife, how much did you spend on this or this and that, and talking about money. And really, I've never lived like that, right? I'm in my mid-40s now. I've never lived like that. I've always said, money comes and money goes, and God always provides. So I don't need to sit there and ask and penny pinch, because that's not how God wants you to live. He wants you to live prosperous, alright? As much as some people don't want to accept that, they want to have that negative mentality, God wants you to prosper. And He wants you to appreciate what you have. Like a couple of years ago, I went on a holiday. It was a great holiday to Europe. But there was this problem, like halfway when we got there, halfway across the world, turned out that there was a problem with the flights, and then we were stuck. We had no flights, and it was quite a very difficult situation. And then I just thought about going through the insurance, trying to get like recuperate some of the money that I lost because of that, because I had to book other flights and stuff. And then I'm thinking to myself, well, I don't want to go on flights anymore. I don't want to go on a holiday. That kind of negativity and bitterness and resentment is what you do not want. You don't need that in your life. God doesn't want you to have resentment. He wants you to be positive. He wants you to say, no, I don't care. If I want to go on a holiday again, I'm going to go. I don't care about what negative experience happened. Next time it's going to be better. And that positivity, overcoming, actually pleases God. And the second last thing, what you need to do is that you always remember that you need to forgive. Don't bring up the things that people have done to hurt you or people have said. The way that your soul progresses, and if you do want to be in a good place after this world, you need to forgive. And if you want to be in a good place in this world, you need to forgive. Forgiving is very humbling. It's like it's against kind of your ego, but that's it. That's all it is. It's against your ego. But unforgiveness eats away at your body. It eats away at your flesh. It stops you from getting the positive things in life, getting good things in life. So my last point, which is going to be from the Bible verse, and that's from Matthew chapter 7, verses like from 9 to 11. It's when Jesus says, which father, when his son or when his children ask for bread, he gives them a rock? Or when he asks for a fish, he gives them a snake? He goes, no father does that. He says, if you who are evil, like mankind is evil. If you who are evil know how to give good gifts to their children, how much more God in heaven, the good Father. And not just that, he says something strange after that verse. He says this sums up the laws and the prophets. Pretty much this sums up the whole Bible, right? This sums up what God wants you to do. Do unto others what you don't have others do unto you. And talking about like resentment and everything, some people, they don't like to accept gifts. They don't like to accept something good, and that displeases God. God doesn't want you to be, that type of person who doesn't want to be given a gift, who thinks there's virtue in not accepting good gifts. There's no virtue in that. There's no virtue in not accepting good gifts. God wants you. It displeases God when He's trying to bless you and you are turning away. You think, no, I don't want it because it's good and I don't deserve it, or I don't want people's sympathy. Maybe people have that mentality when they're bitter. They're like, oh, I don't want your sympathy. But that displeases God. But if you're humble if you're humble, you know how to accept the gift with gratitude, and you know how to say, well, I didn't do anything to deserve this. I can't pay this back. I'm just thankful for it. That is a humbling position to be, and that's where God wants you to be. And He wants you to receive good gifts. But there are people who try to act, like hard and they don't want to accept gifts because they don't want people's sympathy. They don't want to accept God's gift because they don't want something that they can't pay for. But God doesn't want that. God wants you to learn how to accept good gifts that He gives. So yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about today. If you like this video, don't forget, please give it a like. If you have a comment, tell me what you think. Tell me if there's anything you're going through that this relates to. If you like my content in general, please subscribe and take it easy and ride safe.